Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another semi-fantastic episode of Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion. Before we get started, let me first remind you that we are covered by the gov't No Government License, which allows for the use and reuse of this podcast by anyone and everyone except for governments and the bludgies thereof. You can learn more about that at bipcot.org. That is bipcot.org. We're also protected by Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969. Which ruled that the government cannot punish inflammatory speech unless that speech is, quote, directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. Therefore, everything said here on Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion is pretty much mostly hypothetical and hyperbole and Minecraft and
entertainment purposes only.
Right. That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
It's certainly not educational.
For self-deprecation issues only.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be into some nasty BDSM shit to listen to us. That's a punishment.
How much do you hate yourself?
I mean, that's why we're all here. So.
Dom Flex is making your brat listen to Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion.
I am the resident brat of Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion.
Yes. Is that our? What is he? Is he a special guest?
Is that Mark?
Do we call him a special guest, or do we call him a returning host?
Well, he's like an OG returning host.
Well, I know he's OG. Where is he?
I don't know.
Oh. Sorry, I had to figure out all this new technology.
It's not new technology. It's the same. It's the same fucking technology from a year ago, Mark.
I know, and I'm on the same old shitty equipment too.
Oh, okay. So the Wish.com looking Santa Claus guy, that is our homie Mark. Mark started the podcast with Derek and I back in the day.
How many years has that been now?
That was 2017.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Did I just turn my camera on? Sorry.
Okay.
And that was early 2017, so it's almost 5 years.
Mark is boomering so hard.
He is.
Where are you guys? I can't see you.
I showed you my nose hairs. Please respond.
Likes and prayers, please. Likes and prayers.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark's joining us because.
Why not?
The universe is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a weird place. I've learned that in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It has been a couple of years, hasn't it?
Well, it's been like a year since I've been on. I popped on last year, maybe a year and a half ago. Since I've lived here at this house that I'm in now.
Right.
I've lived here 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, before that, it got kind of sporadic. I moved around a bunch. I'm semi-settled. Derek knows some of those stories.
Yeah, I do.
Rises and falls and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm your local
stuff.
homie.
That's right.
Are you in Nova? Are you in Nova now?
No, I do want to move to Virginia though because, like I said, weed, guns, and tiny goats, or raw milk.
Yep.
You can buy and sell raw milk with basic impunity in Northern Virginia or in Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Gun laws are tolerable. I mean,
Right. And there are counties that refuse to enforce the statewide gun laws. Like my county refuses to enforce them.
Right.
Yep. It's lucky. It's lucky you're here, Mark, because we have an article about Virginia today.
Oh, nice.
And we have an article about goats.
My favorite.
You are such a boomer, Mark. All we can see is your forehead.
I'm on my iPad because my phone was dying.
Gotcha.
So it's like the picture that I can see is like this big. Oh wait.
We got.
I can see better. Can you see more now?
We got an article about the Missouri governor going full boomer also.
Ooh,
So
my people.
you want to just jump into that one, the Missouri one?
I didn't
since
read any of the shit. If you still put it out in the chat like you used to, I
Yeah.
can't.
I don't read it either. I never
like
have
normal.
read it.
I'm coming in like a wrecking ball, baby.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, I have gotten shit for actually reading and doing research on articles already because how dare I? So the fact that you have no idea.
Andrew. See, you're kind of missing the original point of all this jackassery.
Yeah.
Okay, this is episode 155. I have
Oh my
research
God.
for exactly one episode,
Yeah.
and it was on secession. So okay.
But if Andrew starts getting too deep in the weeds on any of them, I yell at him for taking up too much time. So,
Andrew's too smart.
Hey, I will have you know, I have gotten fan mail that say that they love my rants. So
Andrew is punching down to be on this podcast.
I'm actually supposed to be. There was a new podcast that was supposed to be happening called "You'll Find This Offensive," something to that general effect. That I was supposed to be on like 3 weeks ago for their first episode and get interviewed, and then it got pushed back again, and now it's going to be on an entirely different channel, and I don't know when I'm going to be on it anymore.
Yep. Misconnection. That's the same way it is with the Oklahoma and the Redacted Caucus. I'm talking to you. You know who you are.
Yeah, you guys were supposed to be on here how long ago? Come on now. What the hell's going on?
I made them a meme. That means they have to love me.
Yeah, if you don't love Jason memes, there's something the fuck wrong with you.
That's true.
I mean, maybe unless you're like the target in a vindictive way.
My
like if he's not
Facebook cover photo is a Jason meme.
What?
My Facebook cover photo is a Jason meme.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one from the Derica's Treat store? I haven't looked at your
profile
directly in a while.
One that it's like one of those e-card memes. The "fuck you guys, I'm fucking hilarious," and then you put my face on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into this because everybody hates Missouri. Missouri governor is calling for criminal charges against a journalist who found Social Security numbers exposed on a public website.
Charges for exposing their exposure of sensitive information.
Yes.
So somebody basically broke the law.
No. Nobody broke the law.
Or found negligence maybe and reported on it. Something that could be caused.
Hold on. No, I'll get into that. Okay. Missouri Governor Mike Parson is demanding a criminal investigation into a journalist who found Social Security numbers exposed on a state website. A reaction that cybersecurity experts say make no sense. St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter John Renaud published a story revealing that the state's education department website exposed the Social Security numbers of over 100,000 employees, including teachers and administrators. All Renaud had to do to view the Social Security openers was open, quote, inspect element to view the page's source code, which anyone can do with 2 clicks of a mouse. Right? So you right-click on the mouse, and you can do inspect element.
Yeah, like
click identity crime.
Which of us that are 40 plus haven't accidentally changed from an HTML visual website to the code and couldn't figure out how the fuck to undo it?
Renaud first disclosed the exposure to the state and waited until the issue was fixed before publishing his story. Okay, right. So that's all good on his side, right?
Yeah.
But after the story went live, Parsons, who's the governor Parsons, held a press conference slamming Renaud as a, quote, hacker and calling the state prosecutors to conduct a criminal investigation into his report.
That's because that
You're not a
hacker.
hacker.
Some mad skills. He's like zero cool
fucking
hacker bad dude.
Like Mark said, I've done that shit on accident before.
Yeah, this guy is not the girl with the dragon fucking tattoo. All right.
Hold on. As always, this gets better.
Oh,
quote, we will not let this crime against Missouri teachers go unpublished, Parsons said. quote, they were acting against a state agency to compromise teachers' personal information in an attempt to embarrass the state and sell headlines to their news outlet.
Oh yes, they're the ones who compromised them by clicking on something publicly available. They're
a
the
journalist. Yeah.
Hold on. This is Social Proof Security CEO Rachel Tobak said in a tweet, quote, hitting F12 in a browser is not hacking.
No, it's not.
I don't know. Can we get Al Gore on the line because he invented the internet? He could probably settle this for us. Not there yet. Not there yet.
Don't ask me. I can't even figure out how to migrate from WordPress.com to WordPress.org for my fucking blog.
This is like, I'm picturing the scene from Monty Python with the "Who are you? Who is so wise in the ways of science?"
The mechanic meme, but it's like MEKAK mechanic.
Yeah,
I'm talking about. It's like that. And it's like hacker, HAKR.
It's the fun hacker.
Yeah. Or like the health, HELF, the little
Elf,
NPC doctor guy. Yeah.
Yeah, like some sort of like Dolan level drawing of the Guy Fawkes mask on her.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bunch of other BS in here, but the article also says, as TechCrunch has reported, a recent Supreme Court ruling found that in order to violate federal anti-hacking laws, a person has to obtain information from a computer that they can't normally access, meaning information available on a public website is unlikely to be considered off limits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit off the state website. Just downloading that's not hacking.
No, it's like
so
finding
wrong this whole time. Wow.
Yes, that's why you're not getting all that Bitcoin ransomware stuff.
Time to put away the Nintendo Power Glove.
That's my favorite episode of the regular show, by the way.
Oh, hack the planet.
Or regular show, not the regular show.
Oh.
Or what is that movie with the Kung Fury? In Kung Fury with Hacker Man, where he pulls on a Nintendo Power Glove and I'm gonna hack time.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was too juicy. I had to share that one.
That is good. That's government in action right there. That's good government in action. Good government.
It's funny you say that. So I have another one, not from Missouri, but from New Zealand.
Ooh.
Official Wizard of New Zealand fired by city council after more than 2 decades.
Those cocksuckers. He was probably getting ready to retire too. That's what it was.
Wait, New Zealand has an official wizard?
I was just gonna say,
yes!
wait.
Rewind
for a second.
I am not making that up. That is a USA Today article.
Like, I'm a little more intrigued by New Zealand now.
I am too.
Well, for more than 2, they have a wizard. They've got hobbits and all of that shit. Of course, they have a wizard.
Yeah, that's
elves and rangers.
That's what it comes down to. Is the wizard
really?
was the wizard
like
was
they have them on the payroll?
Yeah, the wizard was a tourist promotional type of thing.
Okay.
Because of Lord of the Rings.
Did he stand at the fucking docks and you shall not pass?
And how long has he worked?
2 decades.
Wait, Lord of the Rings has been out for 2 decades?
Oh God, you're gonna make me look that up. I'm gonna be so fucking old after this.
This is so.
No, it makes sense because I had them all like the extended edition box set when I got Dogger and when I got stationed here.
Yep, the films are in fact
20
years old.
2004.
What? Yep. What year?
2001 to 2003 were their releases.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. My kids are older than that.
Right. My daughter, I was at the pumpkin patch for my daughter's birthday today because she turned 20 last week.
My daughter's engaged, Mark.
Oh, wow.
No, dude, stop.
Yeah. For more than 2 decades, New Zealand city of Christ.
Well, go ahead, sorry.
Okay. You sure?
Go on. Yeah, sorry.
We're having a boomer moment.
Right.
Some shit hasn't changed, apparently.
No, it hasn't.
For more than 2 decades, the New Zealand city of Christchurch has annually paid thousands of dollars to Ian Brackenbury Channel, known as the official wizard of New Zealand. Now the city council wants him to disappear. Channel had been paid $16,000 annually in New Zealand dollars. That's about $11,290 US.
That's nothing.
Yeah, about $36,800
What
New
are the
Zealand dollars
duties
over
for the
23
wizard,
years.
really?
For, quote, acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services.
Fuck me, there we go.
That is like the greatest job description ever. What do you do? Well, I perform acts of wizardry and other wizard-like services for the government of New Zealand.
They have a guy
pretty
in
sure that's worth a
Disneyland
bit
that
more
does
than
that.
$11K a year.
He absolutely looks like a dude that is 100% in character all the time.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
that is
I
a man
think
who's
he's
a professional wizard right there.
doing some wizardry right there.
I would
His
drop.
beard
I would drop.
isn't super wizardly though.
Well,
It
he
needs
had
to be
a,
longer.
he had an accident with a cauldron and the fire and
That's-
there's
Yeah,
also the
Well,
battle,
maybe
the battle
that's
with the
why they let
dragon.
him go. The workers' comp. He was driving the workers' comp up.
Quote, the council is grateful for the valuable and special contribution the wizard made to our city's cultural life, and he will forever be a part of our history.
Huh.
Public appearances including rain dancing. Okay, so born in London, Chanel began making appearances in the city's Cathedral Square in 1974, according to the city's library website. Over the years, his public appearances include rain dancing during droughts. Popular with tourists, Chanel's presence grew as New Zealand became known as the location where the Lord of the Rings movies were made.
Also, he predated the fucking Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The council recently
Sounds
sent
like
him a
it.
letter saying his services would no longer be needed, and that his presence didn't fit with the new tourism message.
Hey, wait a second. He predated the Lord of the Rings. So like,
He's been
the
paid. He's been
fucking
being paid for the last
70s.
20 years, but he was showing up like in the square doing his thing in 1974.
wow.
He was a busking wizard, if you will.
Yeah, so he was taking mushrooms way before Lord of the Rings.
He was
An
pro
itinerant
bono
wizard.
wizard for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, pro bono wizard.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
engage in pro bono wizardry time to time. It's not important.
Right. I moonlight as a
That's like
wizard.
my
Pro
occasional
bono.
work as a professional or a amateur progressive chemist.
Yeah. Yeah.
The city's, quote, promotional landscape
Amateur pharmacist.
is changing, McClellan said, and will reflect a, quote, vibrant, diverse, modern city that is attractive to residents, domestic and international visitors, new businesses, and skilled migrant workers.
Fuck New Zealand, save the wizards.
Wait. So they
Yeah.
fired the wizard so they could go woke?
Yes.
Yeah, wizards aren't woke, bro.
I would say that state wizards, like government wizards, are like the smallest minority on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Why aren't
I
they
mean,
standing up for this guy?
Yeah. There's.
Yeah. Chanel told The Guardian he made few appearances lately because the council would not respond to his ideas on how to improve tourism. Quote, it's just they don't like me because they are old bureaucrats and everyone likes me and no one likes them. He told Outlet.
Because I said so.
Yeah.
I mean, I would kind of expect a little better response from a wizard. If I'm
Well,
being
I think most
honest.
people who go into government do that because nobody fucking likes them. And
The
they
New
feel
Zealand
bitter.
the New Zealand Art Gallery Director Association has dubbed Chanel, quote, a living work of art.
It's performance art. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Eh.
Can you imagine getting to describe yourself at parties though as a professional wizard? Like, that's like professional ninja or.
I mean, that would be a
astronaut.
good enough
That's
reason
just-
to do
Right.
the job anyways.
Yeah.
Like,
like-
are they telling him that he can't do it at all, even for free,
No,
like he used
it's
to?
that-
Well,
it's that he's-
probably.
it's that he's
I mean,
not
look
being
at what
paid.
They do to motherfuckers who fix potholes in their neighborhood. Or
I love
fucking
the-
do the Lord's work of like
Yeah,
taking down
he's
speed
also
cameras.
he's also been prominent in protests against the city.
Oh, that
Oh,
explains it.
yeah.
So it's
There it
it's
is.
a double-edged sword.
There it is.
See, as we
Yeah.
dig
He al-
deeper,
Last
The
paragraph in the
truth is-
article says, quote, "It makes no difference. I will still keep going. They will have to kill me to stop me."
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
He's a
Attaboy.
defiant wizard.
Yes.
Back to
Is there
pro
any other
bono
kind?
work.
But yeah, he was the official wizard of New Zealand.
Well, what he needs to do is set up a
For the
GoFundMe
whole
so the
fucking
people of New
country?
Zealand can fucking contribute to him.
Yeah, for the whole
Yeah.
fucking country.
Wow,
He's
that's quite a post.
Like, let's see, where does it say? It says right, New Zealand Prime Minister honored him with a citation in 1990.
I love this shit.
Posted on Chanel's website, noting, quote, "I am concerned that your wizard is not officially at the disposal of the entire nation." So Moore promoted him to the, quote, "Wizard of New Zealand, Antarctica, and relevant offshore areas, and as a, quote, national treasure."
Huh.
Yes.
Actually, you know what's
I mean,
really
if-
funny about this? There was a point and this is a little bit of a tangent, but I promise it is relevant. In World War II, during like the height of the scare of Nazi invasion, the British government actually hired a bunch of witches to go and cast spells to create bad weather so that the Germans couldn't fly to bomb England.
Oh my god.
So there is actually precedent among those of British descent to be apparently like professional wizards and witches.
Nice.
Well, I mean, that's where Hogwarts is, so
That's what I'm saying. Now we know where Hogwarts is at.
Yep.
Oh, but he was the official wizard of New Zealand. I just thought that was really cool. So I had to share that. I want to get something serious.
I guess.
Ooh, let's make Andrew angry.
Oh, everybody loves when Andrew gets angry.
Andrew,
Yeah,
you want to get angry? You want to read the angry article?
Which one's the angry article?
The Free Thought Project one. About the dog.
About the service dog one. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, this one. Yeah, this is gonna make me mad.
oh, am I gonna get angry too?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
This one, when I read this, I wanted to throw
in case-
many things.
This isn't a crack pipe, in case anybody was fucking curious. It's a glass
Dick.
one hitter. Dick, whatever. I suck it.
That's why we
Not-
love you, Mark.
Not a crack. I have smoked crack in my past life out of these, but I don't smoke crack no more, and I don't smoke meth no more. So I don't use these for this, but they work very nicely as one hitters.
Are you
If
high,
like
Mark?
glass.
Mark is very high.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of high,
Mark-
but I'm
Mark-
on top of
Hi.
pepper tonight.
Mark's
How are
been
you?
Mark's been visiting with the wizard.
That's right. We chill in the wizard's den around here.
All right, Andrew, go ahead. Go forth.
All right, so brace yourselves. Veteran attacked, his service dog tasered after angry woman wrongly accused him of panhandling.
Wait, why is panhandling a fucking crime anyway?
Wait,
this-
can we
this-
roll
this
through
city-
that
this-
header
this
one
city-
more time?
This city in North Carolina has a no panhandling ordinance.
Hit that
Oh.
hit that headline one more time, Andrew. I think I got it, but
No, you don't really.
So the veteran was attacked, his service dog tasered after angry woman wrongly accused him of panhandling.
okay, gotcha.
This is
Yeah, I thought that was what I thought I heard. I'm like, oh,
where's this? Gastonia, North Carolina.
Yep.
oh, I've been there. That's
So
a
it's-
butthole town.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
even a
backwoods shithole, butthole, back ass water shithole.
So you don't like it then?
No.
No wizards
This is
there.
on the North Carolina coast too, so
Yeah, no wizards there.
So whatever
Uh,
the fuck county pokey isn't nice there either.
All right, get into
all
it.
right. So Joshua Rohrer is an honorably discharged Army veteran who, like tens of thousands of other veterans, is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder after serving in Afghanistan. As a result of his illness, Rohrer hasn't been able to hold down a job and is homeless. As panhandling is illegal in the city, Rohrer simply sits on the streets and waves to folks as they walk by, which ended last week in a violent encounter with police. On October 13th, Rohrer was doing what he normally did every day and was sitting at the intersection of Cox Road and Gaston Mall Drive around 6:30 p.m. with his dog. When a concerned citizen, eye-roll, drove by and noticed Rohrer and his dog, she called police to report the homeless veteran for begging for money and using his service dog for sympathy. That's in
quote using his service dog for sympathy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a quote from the police report.
No, he's not using his dog for sympathy. That's your fucking guilty conscience speaking, lady.
Oh, just wait. Deep breath.
Oh.
Deep breath.
Is it legal for these adults to be standing on the intersection with a dog asking for money? The caller asked, according to the recently released phone records. The woman, who can only be described as Karen, was hell-bent on using police force to implement her will. A homeless veteran who was chewed up and spit out by the system he dedicated his life to was so offensive to the caller that she demanded police remove him. There's got to be something somebody can do about this, the caller said. This is bullcrap that they're using this poor animal. How are they using the dog to get money? The dispatcher asked. Okay, well, that's putting two and two together, the caller responded. They're using this dog to make people feel sorry for them, to give them money. The dog was not being exploited at all by Rohrer. The dog, Sunshine, was Rohrer's service animal to help him cope with his PTSD. However, thanks to the caller, who used police as a weapon against Rohrer, Sunshine is now dead. Sunshine was placed with Rohrer's Veterans Affairs advocate, who was taking care of her while Rohrer was in jail. She got loose and got hit by a car. The See Something, Say Something citizen got her wishes after calling 911 to report Rohrer, and police were dispatched to arrest him. According to several witnesses in a cell phone video, police violently assaulted Rohrer and his dog Sunshine. Justin Huffman and Nadia Conley told local media that they witnessed the arrest and watched in horror as police surrounded Rohrer and his dog. They surrounded him.
Because he's so fucking dangerous.
For allegedly panhandling.
Well, right.
For being homeless, essentially.
Yes. Criminalized homelessness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me tell you a little personal story about the guy with PTSD. He's very triggered from being surrounded and backed into corners who doesn't sit certain places. Andrew knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this gets...
You get an awareness, and when you're spinning out, because there's a lot of fucking stimulation going on, and you're not in a fucking great situation because you're homeless, and the best thing you can do is fucking wave at people to pass time.
Mm-hmm.
Not chew the fucking tritium off your sights, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And that fucking dog, there's probably the link between him not fucking doing that often. Hopefully, hopefully it wasn't the only thing. But, every step of that situation was fucking handled wrong.
Yeah, so they just added another layer of trauma onto his.
Yeah, and then this guy's dog is his PTSD service dog, which means it's essentially, for you emotionally, it's replacing your weapon, right? Like it's that barrier between you and the threat. That's its point. Is it makes you feel better because you're not on your own, you're not alone, and it makes you feel like, okay, I have backup. So now he's being surrounded. What do you think the fucking dog is going to do when his owner is freaking out because a bunch of strangers are surrounding him? Oh, but this gets so much better. The officer asked him for his ID, Huffman said. He wasn't moving fast enough, so he tried to reach into his pocket to get his ID. They slammed him up against the car, and they put cuffs on him. According to WCNC, Huffman, Conley, and another shopper said after the officers arrested Rohrer, his service dog, Sunshine, bit an officer's boot. That's when they claim one of the officers pulled out a stun gun and used it on the dog. We're out here screaming, "Don't shoot the dog, don't shoot the dog," Huffman said. Huffman explained that after he was tasered, Sunshine took off running and hid in a nearby store. Rohrer said, my dog, Huffman said. They took him to the back of the police car and slammed him on the pavement. That's when Conley began filming as more officers arrived on the scene. It was really traumatizing, Conley said. I've never seen anything like that. When Rohrer bonded out, he told local media that he wasn't begging for money, despite what the caller said. He was simply sitting there, which is not illegal.
Right.
They proceeded to attack me and rough me up and use excessive force, what I would consider police brutality. I wish that they would have been calm and listened to what I had to say instead of attacking me. According to Roar's family, after finding out his dog had been killed, he is not doing well.
Yeah.
Oh, that is him and Sunshine. And there is a GoFundMe that was set up by his friend. It's currently at $9,100. That is linked in the description in the comments. So yeah, because it wasn't even the panhandling that did this. It was the person who has such a high opinion of themselves that they saw a person in rags in their line of sight, and it displeased them so much that they demanded they be removed from this person's line of sight.
Yep.
So they called the cops.
This is the same shit, like, because I've been homeless 3 times, right? I've been a homeless vet 3 fucking times. I've dealt with cops kicking us out of places. I've dealt with that shit. They're always fucking mean to us. They don't care.
No.
But I dealt with that. I worked in an office building, and right next to the office building was this like park, and it's kind of marshy and stuff. And in that park was where the city would dump their extra, like the big sewer tubes, the great big concrete tubes. And a bunch of homeless people had set up down there because, hey, it's kind of a ready-made shelter. Throw a couple of blankets at each end. Boom, you got an enclosure somewhere kind of warmer to sleep and things and secure. So there was a bunch of homeless people down there, and I had almost every one of these Karens that I worked with, and there was no other description for them than Karens, complaining that the city should remove them because when they went on a walk in the park, they had to walk past where these tubes were and see all these homeless people. They didn't give a shit about the fact that these homeless people have nowhere to go, that it's getting cold, and it gets damn cold here in Wisconsin. They didn't give a shit about any of that. They just didn't want to have to look at them and acknowledge that that's a problem. And I remember asking them, like, and where would you like them to go, pray tell? They're homeless.
Yeah.
No one had a fucking answer. Not one fucking answer.
Nope.
Oh, you know, all the shelters and whatnot. Yeah, go there, yeah. Yeah, they're fun too.
Yeah, and La Crosse is lucky. We do have a Salvation Army that's pretty big here that works as a shelter and does some good, but you can only stay there for so long. And a lot of these guys are so fucked up. They can't get a job. They can't get an income. They can't keep a house. They can't do that.
And a lot of those places, they also don't have any mental health services. They're not equipped, and they just can't handle, they can't handle somebody spinning out. Yeah. They can't handle somebody in crisis.
Or in another situation, they don't allow animals.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So Sunshine, even as a service animal, wouldn't have been allowed.
Right.
Right.
So it's the part that really got me is when he got out, and he said, "Hey, if they had just asked me what was going on, I would have told them."
Right.
Right. But no, because that's first off, we know that's not the way they're trained.
Nope.
Right. They're trained with this compliance mentality: comply or die.
Right.
Well, here's the other thing.
In this case, it was the dog that ended up dying.
Right.
Because fucking Karen got upset at seeing some homeless guy in her line of sight.
Yep.
And the Karen thing, it's bullshit. And you know what? And probably is a little bit on the dispatcher's part too, because the dispatcher probably eventually bought into it, and then, and called over to the cops and was like, "Hey, there's a guy panhandling at the intersection or whatever and whatever."
Yeah, instead of telling the cops, this guy might need a welfare check. Maybe somebody should make sure he's okay.
Right, exactly. And then the cops could have said, "Oh, it's a fucking guy and his dog." You know what?
Right.
Okay, cool. So maybe we don't need to roll in heavy with 6 fucking cruisers. Maybe one guy can roll up and one guy can sit across the street or something. Be like, "Hey, dude, what's up? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, just roll up and be like,
"I'm
hey,
waving at motherfuckers."
Just be like, "Hey, we got a law against panhandling here. You need to move on."
Right.
That's literally the least it could have been done.
I'm not asking for money. Me and my service dog are just sitting here waving at people.
But no, dude was like, "Oh, there's a panhandler. I saw the picture. Dude didn't look like he was in rags, but he was a big dude. He was had a beard and a dog, and Andrew knows what that fucking life is like,
Yeah.
Motherfucker's like, "Oh, we're gonna see what this motherfucker's made out of."
Well, yeah, and
if that's your choice, but I didn't really want to try to be like that.
And it's not like cops are incapable of dealing with homeless vets. I had one. I was passing through Murphy, North Carolina, and which is the town that's famous because it's where Eric Rudolph was from and where he was arrested. But I was passing through Murphy, North Carolina, and I stayed the night on a park bench. Like it was like a picnic table, and like I had a blanket and stuff, and I was just laying on it and sleeping. And the mayor's wife drove past and saw me there and called the police and said, "Hey, I'm really concerned about him. Can you go find out if he's okay?" And so the cop just walked up, and it was one cop, and he just walked up and made sure he kind of kept his distance till I woke up. So he didn't freak me out, and was just like, "Hey, man," like, and told me what happened, and like, "Hey, she's just kind of concerned. Like, are you doing okay? Do you need some help? Are you in some sort of distress or anything?" You can handle it in a reasonable manner. That is a thing that can happen.
Right.
Shit, that fucking cop took me to breakfast.
Yeah.
Like, he had me get in his car and then drove me over to the cafe that the mayor's wife owned, and she gave me the full breakfast buffet for free. Like, she gave me breakfast. Like, you can deal with this in a reasonable
You can be like a decent human? Nah.
Yeah, like, you could have done that. She could have called and said, "Hey, there's this guy. He's sitting there with his dog. I'm worried he might not be okay. Like, can you go check on him?" And it would have been fine. Like, and you could have sent one cop, and the one cop could have talked to him and said, "Oh, okay, you're
Karen
fine."
could have just talked to him.
Yeah, she could have talked to him like, "Hey, are you okay?" But no. And I guarantee you that bitch was calling on her car phone in like a fucking gigantic, incredibly brand new, expensive SUV with a passenger
I was thinking
of
like one
one.
of those little Lexus crossovers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like one of those
Volvo,
Mercedes ones or
SUV.
something.
Yeah.
A fucking G-Wagon. Who knows?
Yeah.
But she was in
any
some
import SUV.
Yeah, some really
or maybe
expensive
like a big
vehicle.
black Lincoln.
Hey, hey, let's not hate on the Lincoln, okay?
I like the
Go in that
Lincoln.
direction.
That's why I want to come down so you can drive me around in your Lincoln.
But like she was probably in like an Escalade, right? Like a big black Escalade, and calling on her fucking car phone after she had gotten her fucking $40 worth of coffee, which is 2 cups. Like
you guys swirl it to get the flavor.
Yeah, and she's on her way to a fucking spin class or some shit.
Hot yoga.
This guy who's put boot to ass his entire life, he's been shook up and spit out by the fucking system, and her response is, "Well, fuck that guy. I don't want to see that guy again." Fuck
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
cunt.
but you know what, Andrew? Here's what's important. I bet that bitch decks her shit out for the 4th of July and
I bet she does.
Veterans Day. She probably wears some grunt style or grunt. What is it?
Grunt style. Yeah, I bet you fucking anything she's got to support the troops bumper sticker on the back of her fucking
Sure.
I bet she does too.
Yeah.
I
It's
found
all
it.
hollow lip service. Veterans are so used.
I found his Facebook page.
Oh.
Veterans are
Sunshine
so
was
used to
cute.
being chewed up and spit out, and used up and fucking thrown away by the U.S. government and citizens of the United States.
It's what
And
they
it's
do to
just-
us.
He doesn't look all tore up. He doesn't look grungy. He looks like
Yeah.
a
No, not at
backpack. He
all.
looks like a backpacker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Urban
we have those pass
outdoorsman.
through town. Yeah, we have those pass through town here all the
He
time.
looks
You'll see them
friendly.
passing through up by the interstate and stuff, and they'll pass along, and you'll just see them walking along with their backpack and stuff. And how hard is it to just go, and keep fucking driving and don't fuck
Yeah.
with people?
How hard is it to mind your own fucking business?
I know.
What? Y'all act like you don't have Facebook accounts.
I don't have a Facebook account.
Oh, Andrew
Are you gone?
He's
I'm
permabanned.
permabanned.
Andrew got a blackball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost a lot because I was off for a while and I came back and like, where did everybody go? And then I found out a lot of people got like.
Yep.
Yeah, some of us are still on Twitter, but that's about it. Otherwise, we all got removed.
Right, and you're still alive, obviously, well and kicking.
Yeah, like
Man,
I don't
who'd have
need.
thought?
I don't need fucking social media to function, but I mean it's good for outreach, which is the only reason why I even bother with it.
Yeah.
Right.
But like this lady could have just kept going, gone on with her life, gone to her fucking spin class, gone to fucking yoga, pretended that her husband wasn't sleeping with his secretary, and not worried about this poor guy that's sitting on a bench, waving at people, just enjoying the sunshine with his dog. Sunshine, you know?
Yeah.
Sunshine Ray. R-A-E. Yeah.
And then just assuming that he's deliberately like exploiting the dog for money. First of all, who fucking cares?
Well, yeah.
Who fucking cares? As long as he's treating that dog well, who gives a shit if it gets him sympathy?
Yeah, people train fucking monkeys to ride around on little bicycles for money. Like, what? Fucking,
Right.
who cares?
Dude, I want to train monkey. That would be dangerous.
I mean, and this woman probably treats her children like they're fashion accessories, so she doesn't have a lot of fucking room to talk.
Oh, you know that she's got a little fucking chihuahua sitting in her purse on the passenger seat as she drives by.
Yeah.
You fucking know she does. The same like princess or some shit with the fucking bedazzled collar and that she like hauls around in her hot purse everywhere with her and like barely fucking feeds or lets out.
I have to read this. This is on his Facebook page. There's a picture of him and there's Summer Rae, that's his legs, and there's Summer Rae and you saw their patches. And he says, so I was at the store earlier with my service dog. The lady in front of me at the checkout had about $200 worth of toilet paper in her shopping cart. With an attitude, she asked me what type of dog I had. I told her it was my service dog. Then she got really snarky and said, I know that. What type of service? I said she was a BLD. By now, she was licking her face and hands, being super friendly. She said, what is BLD? I told her it stood for butt licking dog. She said, butt licking dog? I said, yes. She's been trying to lick my butt clean because I can't seem to find any toilet paper because of hoarders.
I don't know the dude, but I like him.
Oh my goodness.
Epic.
That was posted back in May.
That's some good long game there too.
Yeah.
He's wearing a shirt that says my dog is smarter than your president.
Let's go, Brandon.
Oh shit.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, fucking Karens, man.
Yep. Fuck Karens.
Oh,
and that doesn't mean people actually named Karen necessarily.
Oh, there's a few.
It includes, I mean, let's be honest here.
Well, okay, well, we all, right? I have a couple of Facebook friends that are really great people.
I'm sure they are.
All right, so I'm all fuckered up. Which way do we want to go? We want to get really dark, or do we want to keep going?
No,
let's get a little lighter.
Let's get a little lighter.
Little lighter. Up, down, up, down.
Yeah, up, down, up, down.
Okay, do we want to go to Ohio or Indiana?
Neither.
Oh, both interesting places.
Wait, do we have to go to one of them?
Well, I was gonna say I live in the Midwest, and can we just not go to
well, we have a Virginia article, but that one's going really dark. That's the secret article that I didn't put on the list.
Let's save that for the.
That can't be the last one. That can't be the last one.
Let's do that right after a light.
We have to go out on a light.
Save like a super, or either that we can just like bullshit for a couple minutes after.
Okay, all right, let's
and you can publish it because
go to Ohio.
That's how this all started.
Go Ohio.
Remember?
Yeah, call
it.
Okay,
we'll go to Ohio. Derek called Ohio.
Thanks, Steve.
I mean, it's a fucking race between giant douche and turd sandwich.
Pretty much.
Ohio mom becomes a minister in a minute, then signs religious exemptions for anti-mask families.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
God bless her, doing the Lord's work.
Yes. On September 3rd, the day after her children's school district mandated that students wear face masks, Kristen Grant became an ordained minister. She did this through the online site Universal Life Church.
Oh, wait, Kevin's an ordained minister. I always fucking forget.
So is Andrew.
So am I.
Yeah.
From the same church.
Yep.
Nice.
The process takes less than a minute, 2 clicks, and you're one step away from becoming Reverend Connie. The 37-year-old mother of 4 in Germantown, Ohio, said she sought the online ordinance for one reason. She wanted to support anti-mask parents seeking religious exemptions for their children. Right? So Valley View School District's religious exemption form requires a signed statement from a, quote, religious official. Grant, who is a self-described constitutional Christian, was happy to oblige. Quote, I haven't broken
with that label now because that'll work.
Which one? Constitutional Christian?
Constitutional Christian. I'm going to go with that label for the religious exemption signings.
Yes. Quote, I haven't broken any rules. I haven't broken any laws. I did what I was told I had to do. On this matter, she was right. Several school officials bemoaned of Grant's willingness to exploit a loophole, but the district set no qualifications for religious leaders. So here we are.
Here's my thing on this, and let me play like devil's advocate here, because I don't give shits about like hundreds-year-old pieces of papers.
Yeah.
But I was pretty sure like the laws they are with religious stuff are pretty similar to like health stuff. Like they can't ask you what. Like all you got to do is pull the card. It's like just as powerful as the race card.
Yeah.
Like once you pull it, it's out, and that's it. They can't question or ask. I thought, and I mean, COVID has changed everything apparently. So
yes,
or people were like, cool, whatever, it's COVID, so just do what you want.
Well, and to this point too, if anyone, because I am also ordained, if anyone would like a religious exemption signed, let me know. I can take care of you.
Does it have to be in state?
I don't think it does, because I am authorized to perform weddings and religious rites in all 50 states, Alaska, including Alaska and Hawaii and Puerto Rico. I don't know about.
And really, with COVID, we're doing everything online now. So why wouldn't we have our religious leader be in fucking Wisconsin?
Yeah, see.
Right.
I mean, you guys got good fishing and you got good cheese.
Church of Iron Harvest. I'm all about it.
Yeah, see, that's the direction.
All right.
Actually, I was technically ordained by the Church of the Subgenius.
Oh, nice, Bob.
Guaranteed eternal salvation or triple your money back. That is an official line.
All right. Grant's full-page written statement begins, quote, my name is Christian Grant, and I am a religious leader and founder of the Freedom Mission. I am an ordained minister and registered and in good standing with the state of Ohio. I'm writing this letter to confirm that, ... The letter goes on to recite what is becoming boilerplate language of the anti-mask, anti-vax crowd. It ends with Bible verse from 2 Corinthians, which, in its reference to, quote, unveiled faces, has become another go-to passage for those opposed to the masks. As a new minister, Grant has not hesitated to sign her signature at the bottom of those letters. 169 students have been granted a religious exemption from wearing masks, even as the, quote, pandemic surges. Wasn't a quote, it was the same quote. Was that a snort? Was that a snort already? It wasn't even funny.
No, that was
it was more of a
snortle. That was a scoff.
A snortle?
A snort and a chortle.
Yeah,
I was
somewhere in the middle.
Fucking scoffing, you guys.
That's better than a shark.
Indeed, any day, every day.
School officials stress that this represents around 100 families and a district of roughly 1,800 students. The caveat will be small comfort to any family of whose child who ends up infected with COVID-19.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Grant is certainly not the first, quote, religious leader eager to use the self-styled version of religion to defy government attempts to keep children and their families safe during the pandemic.
What is it with people worshiping fucking cloths? Fucking sky cloths, face cloths. Remember like a couple of years ago, everybody was up in arms about the fucking burqas? For fuck's sakes, now people are like, no, cover up.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You guys have all seen that meme go around that says, like, I'm so many years old and I still look around for an adult, like an adultier adult, a more adult.
A more adult?
That's yeah. So these people are still looking for somebody to look to that will tell them what to do.
You know what's really scary, you guys? Derica is the adult of this group.
It's really scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can default and just let Declan be in charge, though.
Yeah.
I got her.
Speaking of which.
I got her chronologically.
He let the dogs out, so I hope they don't start fucking barking.
You let the dogs
Now
out.
we know who the answer to that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Podcasting, right?
Declan let the dogs out, for fuck's sake.
Last month, the Washington.
Okay.
Last month, the Washington report that Jackson Lamer, a pastor Republican candidate in Tulsa, Oklahoma, started selling signed religious exemption forms to anyone who streamed at least 1 hour of the church's platform and donated $1 to the church. In just 2 days, 30,000 people downloaded the forms.
$30,000.
Shit, I'm about to go get ordained.
Right?
I'm already ordained. I'm doing this fucking tomorrow. Tomorrow we're launching that.
In Rockland, California, Rockland is just north of Sacramento. Pastor Graham Farmington freely offered the forms to anyone requesting them. And it doesn't say how many he did, but yeah, it's
well, see, and the best part is that selling these is actually right in the spirit of the Church of the Subgenius. So it actually works out perfectly. I can just join the Church of the Subgenius. I have pamphlets I can send you, and a religious exemption form for I don't know, $10.
Mm-hmm.
I think $10 seems fair.
Yeah, it took a while for Kristen Grant.
Even.
Yeah, it took a while for Kristen Grant to agree to an interview. Online readers commented on a recent Dayton Daily News story about her efforts had rattled her. Quote, people were saying I should be arrested. One of them said something about me being responsible for other people's deaths. Others said they hope my child gets COVID and dies. That I was a horrible parent, attacking my parents and attacking my religious beliefs, attacking pretty much everything you can attack when it comes to another human being.
Isn't it interesting that all of us people who supposedly wanted grandma to die are the ones who are just going, I just kind of want to be left alone. Like, let me, own my own body and things. And then it's the Branch Covidian cult that's constantly screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
That, I
You're
hope
gonna
you
kill
die.
my grandma. I hope your children die.
Yeah, I hope
What
your
the
children
fuck?
die. What? Like, I don't even interact with your fucking grandma. Fuck you.
Fuck your grandma.
I don't even interact with your children. I homeschool my fucking children. We keep to ourselves. Just stay the fuck out of our business.
I'm at the point where I'm really doing I will take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out to a nice seafood dinner and then never call her again.
But speaking of the
greatest movie ever.
Speaking of homeschool, numbers were just recently released, and just under 3 million kids were unenrolled in the last year and a half.
And that is why I'm starting my unschooling blog, which I need to fucking fix tomorrow so I can put my next post up. But yeah, I am starting an unschooling blog to help parents understand what unschooling is and to encourage and empower people to choose this for their families. And because there's so many people looking for alternatives to public schooling.
And what unschooling isn't.
Right, and what it isn't.
That's what you need to let people know.
Yeah, well, by showing them what it is, and I'll talk about what it isn't, but mostly I'm going to show them what it is.
No, I mean like the as far as like directly addressing.
Right, and my first blog post addresses that. Yeah.
You know the shit you hear, the social aspect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Blah,
and
blah, blah.
My first post does address a lot of the misconceptions. And that's at the radicalunschooler.com.
For homeschool blog, but you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Just because, if nothing else, you can say, refer, like in the future comments, refer to my first blog post.
Right.
With your dipshit ass comments. Just go read it.
Right. So that's going to be at the radicalunschooler.com if anybody wants to look that up.
Okay. Well, now that we're brought up school, now we have to go to the bad article.
Do we have
to
go
for
school? Damn it.
Yeah. Let's
No, we don't have to go to school. We have yet again another really fucking good reason to get your kids out of public schools.
Yeah. And I can give you a million others. And anybody who knows my kids can give you a million other fucking reasons.
I was going to say, I can think of 3 right off the top of my head.
I'm about to give you one more.
Micah, Caleb, and Declan?
Yep.
Okay. Virginia Democrats voted to allow schools to refrain from reporting sexual battery in 2020.
Unfucking sad. That is
What?
unfucking sad.
Virginia Democrats voted to allow schools to refrain from reporting sexual battery last year in 2020. Democrats in the Virginia
Give us your children. Give us your children. That's how we take control. It might not happen today, but we'll get tomorrow.
Yeah. Democrats in the Virginia General Assembly voted for, and Governor Ralph Northam signed, a law allowing schools to refrain from reporting incidents of sexual battery, stalking, violation of a protective order, and violent threats occurring on school property in 2020. 22.1-279.31 of Virginia Code had required that those, among a number of other major crimes, be reported to a law enforcement if they occurred on campus. Democrats insisted that misdemeanors be removed from the reporting requirements in House Bill 257, replacing the word criminal with felony in the code. So, meaning that as long as it's not a felony, they don't have to report it.
Jesus. So, like intimidation,
terroristic
threats, shit like that.
Yes.
Like somebody's kid getting bullied so hard, fucking core.
And that a lot of kids are unlikely to tell their parents.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like to the point when it's gone beyond what the kid can handle.
Yeah.
And even if they do tell their parents, how many parents are going to do jack shit about it anyway?
Well, how many parents can do anything? The schools will just fucking deny and deflect.
Well, all this circles around. All this is coming to light because of the Virginia parent that went to the school board meeting, because his daughter was raped in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And because it was still under investigation, blah blah blah, they just transferred the kid to another school where the kid raped another girl in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He's a
trans student.
Yeah,
right?
He went to the dad went to the school board demanding accountability, and they had him arrested.
Not just demanding accountability. He sat there while one of the school board members said the rapist transgender student stereotype doesn't exist. It's not a thing. When a transgender student had raped his daughter in the bathroom.
And another one.
Yeah.
And then
so
raped
the school board guy,
and he got mad and started yelling.
That student couldn't have done it because they're transgendered.
Right. Well, and he got mad and started yelling that they were denying that this could even happen when it fucking had happened.
Yeah, the school board was trying to blow smoke up this guy's ass.
Yeah,
it can't happen because
they labeled him a fucking terrorist. They hauled him out of there.
The article gets into it. And that was the reason that the National School Board called the Department of Justice, or wrote a letter to the Department of Justice asking for protection from domestic terrorist parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of this guy.
Because if you want to work in a job where you treat your customers like absolute shit and step on them at every opportunity, and then you get to point guns at them if they get mad about it, work for the state.
All right. So in a stunning exchange between legislators in the House of Delegates last year, Todd Gilbert, the Republican leader of the body, asked Delegate Mike Mullen, quote, "Did I hear correctly that you would not have to report sexual battery to law enforcement any longer if we accept these amendments?" Quote, "I would answer the minority leader that he is not hard of hearing and that he is asking me to repeat this over and over again, even though he heard it the first time," responded Mullen, who was the bill's sponsor.
Yeah, but he's trying to get you to fucking hear it when it comes out of your own fucking mouth, and you're not fucking hearing it.
I'd make Gilbert, him say, I'd ask him all kinds of dirty ass
Gilbert
questions.
shot back. Gilbert shot back. "Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, for being shocked that the patron, a career prosecutor, would want to accept these amendments, and frankly would want to put you all in the position of voting to accept these amendments. So I apologize for my hard of hearing, but frankly, I couldn't believe my ears."
Your children are not fucking safe with them.
No, they're
the
not.
The contentious back and forth has now taken on new relevance a year and a half later, after a bombshell story from the Daily Wire alleged that Loudoun County Public Schools
Loudoun County.
Loudoun County
over.
Public Schools sought to conceal the rape of a 15-year-old female student by a male student wearing a skirt in the girls' bathroom. The facts of what happened next are disputed somewhat. While the father of the victim claims that he was told upon his arrival at the school that everything pertaining to the incident would be handled, quote, in-house, Loudoun County Public Schools released a statement that alleges that, quote, Loudoun County Sheriff's Office was contacted within a minute of receiving the initial report on the day of the attack. For its part, the Sheriff's Office said that, quote, an LCSO school resource officer was notified by Stonebridge High School staff of a possible sexual assault. A thorough investigation and extraordinary analysis was conducted over the course of several weeks by the Sheriff's Office Special Victims Unit.
And this wasn't just like rape in the way that liberals mean it. This was, his charges were like forceful fellatio, forceful sodomy. Like he fucking violated the shit
that's
out of that girl.
That's what the next paragraph says.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Your freedom isn't being lost. It's being taken by people who have names and addresses.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Regardless of the facts of the immediate aftermath of those, school officials would have been legally bound to report the incident to law enforcement, since it crossed over the line from misdemeanor of sexual battery into a felony sexual assault.
How is sexual battery?
Battery involves forcible sexual touching through coercive means. Sexual battery turns into sexual assault legally in Virginia when it involves rape, sodomy, or another form of aggravated sexual battery. That said, the school's attempt to push through the scandal without alerting, and in fact, while actively misinforming the public, in an effort to change school policy to allow biological males into female bathrooms and locker rooms, would have been made easier had the culprit's behavior not crossed that arbitrary line into sexual assault. At the school board meeting, the transgender guidance held less than a month after the attack, Loudoun County Public School Superintendent Scott Zinger announced that, quote, to my knowledge, we don't have any records of assaults in our bathrooms.
Uh-huh. That's what set the father off.
Let's get the first principles on this one. They're not letting a good tragedy go to waste, is what they're doing here. They're politicizing the fuck out of this.
Well, yeah, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing that we're seeing out of, we saw out of the mask mandates, same thing we see out of the vaccine mandates and everything else. It's about making it super political. Because, I think everybody can kind of agree. Like, if you're coughing and hacking in public, right, you wear a mask because you're coughing and hacking in public. But if you're not sick, it shouldn't be a big deal. But don't go out.
Not only that, but like we can even take this a step further with the homeschool issue that we're talking about. This is the government. This is legislators dictating school policy.
Yeah.
Right. School policy should be between the students, the parents, and the teachers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not politicians.
Right.
Yeah, and it's and what this is doing is this is obfuscating the real issues by making it about politics, by making it about a right-left paradigm, so that they can say, well, you just don't like this because you're on that side of the fence, or you support this because you're on that side of the fence.
It gets like this because school districts have like doubled the amount of administrators in recent decades. Like there are so many more like top level, like too many chiefs, not enough engines, right? And the fucking school administrators are one very short step away from being politicians.
Yeah. What do you mean? 42 kids in a classroom is too many for one teacher? Like 42 7-year-olds? Come on.
Let's hire another administrator for the districts to analyze this problem.
Yeah, we
or you could hire another fucking teacher, you idiots.
Yeah, and it's that move to it's the political worship of bureaucracy that's happened in the United States that just keeps getting worse and worse. Where bureaucracy used to be skewed, right? There was a time in this country where the idea of that much bureaucracy people found abhorrent. They didn't want that kind of democracy.
That was the reason that like Shays Rebellion happened, right? It was because of the bureaucracy, the federalism. And it was the difference between like the Articles of the Confederacy and the Constitution. The Constitution was written by the Federalists because it gave the federal government more power over the states. But this is the same mentality that can be in our last story with the dog, where the Karen that called the cops, right? This is that appeal to authority because something displeased you.
Yeah,
you appeal
real.
to the hammer of the state to enforce your will on other people.
And I say that all of this mentality, it starts with children being authoritatively dominated by their parents their whole life.
Oh my God! There's another article that I posted on Wolf earlier today, and it was about this special needs girl, right? She has Down syndrome. She's nonverbal. She has Down syndrome. But one of the things that she has a really enlarged tongue, right? So she pants a lot and has issues with wearing a mask because of that. For the last 6 weeks, when she got to school, her teacher would grab a piece of string and tie her mask onto her face.
That's not okay.
Well, and we see shit like that all the time from with special needs, with the special education departments in public schools, where they slap nonverbal autistic kids. They do all these things to
the woman that beat up the teacher, the mom
lock
that beat up the teacher.
lock them in closets. Yeah, all kinds of.
Yeah, there was one a couple of weeks ago about a woman, a mom, who started punching the teacher, right, because she saw on video the mom or the teacher abusing her special needs son, right, and then the mom was arrested.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Like, and what other recourse do you have? Like, here's the thing,
there is no real recourse because they've took control of schools out of the parents' hands.
Yeah,
right. Like, parent-teacher associations exist, right? But realistically, how much power do they have to hold bake sales?
None.
Yeah, they don't have any. They don't have
they
any
have power
actual
to raise funds. That's it.
Yeah, they have power to pay people things. Like that's what they can do. They don't have the ability to make it to enact any meaningful change and do anything that actually matters at all. And and it's the same thing throughout all politics in the United States, especially, where you do not have the ability to work through political means. And remember what we always talk about on this show, you have 3 boxes, right? 3 boxes. Well, they've taken away 2 of them. They've left 1.
Yep.
1 box is left.
Ammo box. They're taking away the soap box. They're taking away the ballot box.
Lead and copper suppository will go a long way to fixing things.
Yeah. There's that Church of Iron Harvest again.
Exactly. Join us.
Do not walk on the hot tub cover. Sorry, I have a dog that fucking
walking on the hot tub cover.
After the bill passed the General Assembly last year, Gilbert, he's the Republican leader, urged Governor Ralph Northam to veto it, arguing that, quote, House Democrats today adopted a policy that will make our students, teachers, and school personnel significantly less safe.
You fucking
quote,
think?
Administration should have some leeway over when to involve law enforcement in disciplinary problems, but incidents of sexual battery, stalking, and threats and against teachers and staff are not discipline problems. They are serious crimes with real problems that need to be investigated and prosecuted. Jim Livingston, the president of the largest teachers union in the state, the Virginia Education Association, supported the legislation, holding that, quote, it's time we move away from a one-size-fits-all approach to reporting and tap into the experience and expertise of our, quote, frontline school principals.
Now, let me say that whole thing with a different idea plugged into it.
Trust the science.
It's time we move away from a one-size-fits-all approach to education and tap into the expertise of our parents.
Yes. That's what it should be.
Yep.
Yeah, but let me play the devil's advocate here, Derica. With look at the Karens.
Andrew, can you perform exorcisms?
in the pickup
Technically,
school.
I probably
Okay.
can.
I mean, we might need one on this one because this is going to get pretty deep. But
the Church of the Subgenius is a little murky on exactly what an exorcism would be, but I mean, for the right price, I'll do whatever.
I mean,
man.
like are there installment plans? Do we do credit? You know what I mean?
See, now, in the Church of Derica, exorcisms just involve doing shrooms.
So
Hey,
the bill
I'm not
is
saying that ayahuasca is involved. I'm also saying
FYI, quarter ounce of shrooms at a time is not a good idea, folks.
No.
Not a good idea. Do not.
Quarter ounce. That's what, 7 grams?
Yeah.
Are you insane?
3.5 gram chocolate bars.
I actually know a guy who grabbed an entire handful, literally a handful of shrooms out of a bowl at a party once and ate them because he'd never done drugs before and he didn't want to look uncool because he'd been talking like he'd done a bunch of drugs at this party. And everyone else at the table went, and he was like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Pew, stick your finger down your throat.
Like,
No, that's a party foul. He would have wasted those.
yeah. Well, and see, and that was the thing is he didn't.
You just tried that shit out, bro.
Yeah, he couldn't puke because he'd been talking it up for so long, for weeks at college.
I wrote that quarter ounce of shrooms and fifth of whiskey out in Crazy Bonnie's basement. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bill remember that shit.
Yeah, the bill and the scandal both raise larger questions about the merits of parental versus systematic or expert control of education in Virginia. Education policy has emerged as a major issue in the race between Republican Glenn Youngkin and Democrat Terry McAuliffe to become the state's next governor, with the former arguing that the greater parental control of policy and the later declaring that he doesn't, quote, think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
Oh, that's exactly what fucking parents should be doing. That's exactly what parents should be fucking doing. Is telling the teachers.
Give us your children.
Hold on. I'm gonna read that again just because now Derica's back. Because Derica's gonna explode when I read that.
Oh yeah.
So Derica missed
veins and horns and.
Are you back? Can you hear us now?
Yeah, sorry. The dogs were scratching to go back inside.
Okay. The bill and the scandal both raise larger questions about the merits of parental versus systemic or expert control of education in Virginia. Hold on. Hold your breath.
No, it gets better. But wait, there's more.
Mark has been listening to the show.
Yeah.
Education policy has emerged as a major issue in the race between Republican Glenn Youngkin and Democrat Terry McAuliffe to become the state's next governor, with the former arguing for the greater parental control of policy and the later declaring that he doesn't, quote, think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
Yeah, I know. I fucking hate that guy. When I saw that he said that, my fucking head damn near exploded.
Oh. See, and that's that I mean, and I have an almost 13-year-old. Oh God. But I have an almost 13-year-old daughter.
Youngster.
And the idea that somebody would tell me, well, you don't get to decide and you don't deserve to decide what she learns and what she doesn't.
Not just that, but then say you don't even have a seat at this table.
Oh yeah.
There are solutions to such things.
Come join the Church of the Iron Harvest.
Yeah.
I love that. We're going to keep using that.
Yeah.
We're going to keep using it.
Well, the motto of Iron Harvest is make them reap what they sow.
Mm-hmm.
So,
can I declare myself a bishop of the Church of the Iron Harvest?
Sure.
Where do I have to sign up?
I was just talking to Liz the other day about the idea that I was going to start my own cult, and I was like, hey man, if L. Ron Hubbard can do it and make millions of dollars, I feel like I should be able to do it. How hard can it possibly be to start your own cult? And is it really that wrong if it's a cult of liberty? I really don't think it is. So
New Hampshire, they have the Shire Free Church. Right, that's one of their nonprofits. I think Ian Freeman and a couple of them do it, and it's basically a tax shelter, but it's a free church, Shire free church that they use.
Yeah. So apparently I need to form an affiliate and here in Wisconsin, and we'll develop a nationwide network and go global and religious exemptions for everyone. And you get a religious exemption, and you get a religious everyone gets a religious exemption.
Yep.
It's hey, I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are a part of my
I'm starting the Church of Consent. We believe that consent is the highest principle.
You're not aligned with the Catholic Church at all, right?
No, I mean, I
well, clearly not.
I went. I kind of grew up a little Catholic.
I was hoping somebody would make that joke.
Yes. I grew up a little Catholic.
Well, you know, there's that joke about the little kid goes with his dad to confession, and the dad says, you know, forgive me, Father, for I've sinned, and he's like, you know, I got a hand job from my secretary at work, and the priest is like, well, I need you to do 10, 100 Hail Marys, 50 Our Fathers, and something else. And they're walking out, and the guy looks at his son, who's an altar boy, and goes, "Man, that's pretty harsh. What would I have gotten for a blowjob?" And the kid goes, "Oh, a Snickers."
Yeah.
Oh. This is why we're not allowed on mainstream services.
I can't imagine that mainstream media doesn't want to pick us up. It's a syndicated show.
All right, let's. I have no segue for this. I just have to read it.
Okay.
Indiana woman must shut down business after county officials determine her farm isn't zoned for commercial goat yoga or goat snuggling.
Oh my God! I'm just gonna shut up. You guys talk for a minute. I'm gonna calm the fuck down.
This is the kind of shit that even National Lampoon couldn't have come up with.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, Jordan Stevens has been running Indiana's only full-time goat yoga operation on her farm in rural Hamilton County. She's since been forced to stop offering the services by the planning officials who say the property isn't zoned for goat yoga use.
What the fuck?
Her application for a zoning variance that would have legalized her business, Happy Goat Lucky Yoga, was also denied by the county. The expense of that process, plus the added cost and hassle of not being able to run her business on her own property, has Stevens, who suffers from multiple sclerosis, considering shutting down her goat yoga business entirely and applying for disability benefits instead.
What a load of horseshit. I mean, goat yoga is, you know, I'm not into yoga, but
not just goat yoga.
Photos.
Goat yoga and goat snuggling. Like
Let
literally,
me tell you.
Like literally where you go and you hang out with little baby goats.
Baby goat snuggling.
How could you not want that? And like
right.
Like they're adorable. They're obnoxious, but they're adorable. It's you know, like real kids. You know,
right,
they can be adorable, but
and
also
they're
obnoxious.
a huge pain in the ass because they're clever little shits. But
hold on, okay. Quote: "It sucks," she tells Reason. Quote: "They take so much money from people who are already taxpayers, and then we can't even do the things we want on our own property that aren't even hurting anyone."
Yep.
That's a quote from her.
And that's the thing. MS is one of those fucking hellacious disease, terrible afflictions that it's like one day you're fine, one day you can't get out of fucking bed.
Right.
Yep.
So like,
yes,
to maintain like a job as an employee is fucking horrible.
Yes.
Right. You know?
Stevens started Happy Goat Lucky Yoga with her partner in 2018. At the time, they were already raising Nigerian dwarf goats on her family's farm. Yeah, those
so
are
it's zoned
cute
for the
little bastards.
livestock, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes. The rising popularity of goat yoga, where people strike traditional yoga poses while goats clamor on and around them, presented both a business opportunity and a chance to share goats with their community.
I mean, that sounds fun.
Shit,
I might actually try yoga.
The photos are great with people doing like these poses where they're, you know, all up and high and everything,
like
and there's a goat standing. Yeah, and they're like standing on their backs and things, and it's just it is adorable. Right. It is adorable photos.
At first, Stevens rented out a space in a counseling center in town to run the classes, hiring independent contractors to teach them. A mix of the center shutdown during the pandemic, a desire to move classes outdoors, and her car breaking down led Stevens to move her business onto the farm. About 20 people would show up to each class. The community really took to it, says Stevens, and the goats liked it too. Quote, they thrive on human interaction, she says. On the farm, we have a separate pen that we do the classes in, and they run straight into that every time.
Well, yeah, goats love being played with.
Yes.
Attention, yeah.
Yeah, Stevens'
And
trouble
they're
with the
curious.
county.
They
Yeah,
love it.
Stevens' trouble with the county began this summer when she received phone calls and emails from the Hamilton County Plan Commission staff. They said that a complaint from a neighbor had triggered an investigation.
Oh, for
which
fuck's sake.
discovered that her business was out of compliance with her farm's agricultural zoning.
You know, and how ridiculous is it? Just even if
Hold
you
on,
supported
hold on.
zoning, how
Hold on.
ridiculous is it that agricultural zoning and commercial zoning are different?
Yes, hold on.
Well, and then
Quote-
there's commercial agricultural zoning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hold on. Wait. Okay, pay attention to this. This is a letter from Plan Commissioner Director C.J. Taylor. Quote, I have determined that the operation of your goat yoga and goat snuggling businesses are not permitted uses in this current zoning classification for your property.
I
are
unilaterally decided.
You are required to cease all business operations on the property. I have determined.
Yeah, I have determined.
Determined.
You are not ruled democratically. You are not ruled by representative democracy. You are ruled by unelected bureaucrats who get to unilaterally make these decisions. This is who actually controls your day-to-day life.
But if she were running a home-based business doing something on the computer out of her fucking office in the house,
if she was slaughtering
that would be okay.
If she was slaughtering the goats and selling the meat.
Yeah.
Or selling goat milk or goat cheese.
Yeah.
But Stevens Farm and a smaller adjacent property owned by her grandmother, where the yoga classes were actually held, is zoned as an A2 agricultural district. In Hamilton County, that allows the property to be used for a number of agribusiness activities, including raising crops and livestock, retail sales of agricultural products, and home occupations. But none of these are categories allowed for goat yoga or snuggling, according to Taylor, who said the business would have to obtain a zoning variance if she wanted to continue to operate legally.
Which, and if anybody's ever dealt with getting a fucking variance other than
Yes.
shit that they tell you gotta do, like a fence setback or some dumb shit, like changing zoning.
They don't do that shit.
Yeah.
My county sure as fuck doesn't. Yeah.
They will change
to lose.
See, like around here, they'll change zoning if you're rich as fuck.
Well, yeah.
If you can buy it, yeah.
This girl doesn't sound like she's rolling in cash.
Yeah. No, she's not. But I mean, that's what it is.
It's the same thing as like punishable by a fine. It means it's legal if you're rich enough.
Yeah, you can do it all you want if you're rich enough. I mean, that's the famous story is the guy where he was with his really rich friend, right? And they parked in somewhere where it said, like $200 fine for parking here or something. And he told his friend, he's like, dude, you can't park here. It's a $200 fine. He goes, no, it just means it costs $200 to park here.
Yep.
And walked away.
That's exactly what it means.
Yep.
But the email came attached to a variance application and suggested she contact the state departments for building inspection and transportation to get their input on legalizing her business. Legalizing her business. Yeah.
That is just.
And if you've been listening to this show even for a couple of episodes, you know how we fucking feel about that.
Oh, there's
even
like
the phrase legalizing my business.
Yeah,
there's
three things. There's three things that will set me off more than anything else: harming kids, enforcing gun control, and property rights.
Yep.
Like, it just. The news that her goat yoga operation was technically illegal took Stevens by surprise. She had assumed that a goat-based business would be permitted by the property's agricultural zoning. The timing couldn't have been worse, she said. Her business only offers classes from May through October. The county's demand they stop came right in the middle of their busy season. Stevens and her partner are also in the process of adopting a child from foster care. meaning they couldn't afford the lost revenue.
Yeah.
Which is why they timed it for when they did.
Yes. Put off but not
Just
deterred.
like with everything else in statism, no self-sufficiency, no good deed, no good intentions, go unpunished.
I mean,
Yes.
It sounds all right there, because this lady sounds like a real turd. Adopting children, yoga. I mean,
she's
what a
terrible.
Shitbag.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Playing with goats and having people snuggle baby goats.
A
what
real
a monster.
hardened criminal.
Like finding ways to adapt when her car breaks down and dumb shit happens in life to not go on disability.
Yeah, not going to the state with her hand out, just finding a way to deal and make it work. How dare she be so independent? How dare she not need them?
You guys know this gets better, right?
Of course it fucking does.
There's more.
Put off but not deterred, Stevens set about the process of applying for the zoning variance. She wrote up a business plan for Happy Goat Lucky, posted county signs on her property about an upcoming public hearing on her application, which she had to pay for.
Dude, I just got the name of that. Like, I just realized.
Happy Goat Lucky.
Happy Goat Lucky.
Happy Goat Lucky. Yeah.
You punny people not pick up on that?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, look, I'm on gabapentin tonight, okay?
Okay, Happy Goat Lucky post signs on her property about an upcoming public hearing on her application, which she had to pay for, and took out required ads in 2 local papers notifying people about the variance request. She was also required to send verified mail to neighboring property owners about her application. That all cost Stevens about $1,000, including a $500 application fee. The loss of revenue from 2 months of not hosting classes cost her another $4,000, she says. It was all for naught. At a preliminary hearing, commission staff said that she would need to apply for 2 variances. One for her grandmother's property where the classes are held, and another for her neighboring farm where the goats are kept. This wasn't something Stevens could easily afford, given the expenses of the first application.
Just moving the fucking goalpost. Moving the fucking goalpost. Moving the fucking goalpost.
This is the kind of shit that gives rise to the killdozer.
This was going to cost double. Oh, we're sorry.
There's a point where you. There's a point. The goat-dozer.
The goat-dozer.
Yeah, there's a point where you have to go, I have a different solution.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a point where you have to roll up your sleeves.
Hashtag make politicians afraid to start their cars again.
Spit on your hands.
Hoist the black flag.
Hoist the black flag.
To open their
and
mail
start
again.
slitting throats.
Yep. Quote, it was a battle the whole way, she says. I felt it was being made as difficult as possible.
Yeah, that's what they do.
The initial hearing resulted in planning commission staff giving Happy Goat Lucky's application a negative recommendation. A Board of Zoning Appeals meeting in late September didn't go any better. Her application was officially rejected.
It's just.
And they kept the money from the application process, of course.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hold on. This one does actually get better. Not technically, but it's like a variation of better. This was an obvious blow for Stevens and her partner. It was also presented as serious financial problems for them, as they had already sold a number of gift certificates for the upcoming classes. Fortunately, neighboring Tipton County officials proved more receptive to her business. She was able to rent out their county fairgrounds, where she'll close out the season. Having to move her whole operation out of the county obviously costed a lot more, given the need to rent the fairgrounds and then cart the goats there and back. Stevens said it nevertheless cost less than having to give everyone refunds for their classes.
Yeah, so, and which means that the neighboring county is looking at and going, well, I don't have a fucking problem with that. And on top of that, that's revenue coming in.
Yep. Yeah, you want to
rent coming in here.
So that just highlights the fact that government is not a fucking like an automatic good thing, because it depends on the fucking people who are populating it.
Yes.
Yeah, and do you really want to leave your entire livelihood, the best parts of your life, up to random individuals?
The whim of a random fucking individual.
In addition to the financial cost of having her businesses shut down, Stevens says it's a loss for her community and a wide range of people who were drawn to the goat yoga and or snuggling. Stevens tells a story of a preteen girl with autism who came to one of her classes with her mother. The daughter was visibly nervous at first, but quickly relaxed when one of the goats, Sophie, went right up to her. Quote, Sophie just went up and sat on the girl's mat the whole class, and she was just petting Sophie the whole time. You could see the calm on her face and how she was content. It's hard to describe the peace you saw with this girl. There are stories that are really, or these are the stories that are really why I did it. It was therapeutic for people.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
It's hard to be like
and like
most, in a negative headspace when you're petting baby goats.
And like most recent articles about this, they in the article with a zinger, and it says, unfortunately, moments like that aren't allowed in an A2 zoned agricultural district.
Sorry, you're actually helping people is not something that this particular county wants any part of. We don't want to help people. We want everybody fucking miserable.
Yep.
That's it. Help yourself? Hell no.
Because the county is run by people elected by people like her fucking neighbor that called the county.
Well, here's the thing. Her neighbor very well could have just been one of them cranky old bastards too. It was like, I don't want all them hippies coming in and doing yoga near my cows.
Well, they need to get out there and snuggle some goats, man.
Yeah, snuggle fucking goats. Seriously. Are you kidding me? Like, have you ever snuggled a baby animal of almost any variety and ever been anything but happy? Like, I've snuggled baby elephants, which, you know, are not really baby sized. They're kind of horse sized, but I've snuggled a baby elephant that decided that my lap looked really comfy. Not entirely comfortable, but was I unhappy? No, because baby elephant.
Hell no.
But her property. Well, technically not her property because they're allowed to say what people can and cannot do on the property.
Yeah, the property she rents from the local government, just like we all do.
Yep. And if she continued running the business without the government's permission, they would send the cops. Cops would point guns at her, and if she resisted, they would shoot her in the fucking face for allowing people to snuggle goats without a permit.
Every law is backed by a death threat.
Baby goats, it don't matter. We'll choke you to death.
Can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine a gunfight over snuggling
all
a baby?
The fucking time. Every single fucking law, every regulation, every fucking local ordinance is ultimately backed by a fucking death threat. Every single one.
Hold on. That is a very nice segue. I'm going to take it. I'm sorry, Andrew. Bipartisan bill would require Attorney General to count the number of federal crimes.
I love that. I fucking love that.
What? Say it again.
A bipartisan bill would require Attorney General to count the number of federal crimes.
To be able to answer the question, how many federal crimes are there on the books? How many?
Like on the books, like just provide a number.
Yeah,
like they can't even provide a fucking.
And you know what's ridiculous? What's especially ridiculous?
It's a little deeper than that, but yeah.
What's especially ridiculous about this to me, being Irish, is that in Ireland we don't have felonies. That they don't exist anymore. Starting in the late 90s, they ceased to exist. There is regular crimes, and then there are crimes that are considered heinous crimes. That's it. Like when it's a crime that causes grievous bodily harm, or that causes great psychological damage, those are considered grievous crimes, heinous crimes. Those are especially punished.
So there's
otherwise
there's like petty shit and evil shit.
Yeah. It's because what happened was, and the reasoning at the time that was argued was, what's the point in having a special class of crimes when realistically all crimes kind of fall under the same umbrella? Why are we punishing these differently regarding these as different when realistically the only things that we, especially in Ireland, the only things that we really considered felonies were things like murder and rape and and child endangerment, things like that, where
with actual victims.
Yeah, with real victims. And so finally Ireland was like, this is really stupid. So we abolished felonies. And guess what? Ireland didn't fall apart, didn't collapse. None of that. So
bipartisan group of congressmen introduced a bill to address the over-federalization of criminal law by counting the number of federal crimes. The bipartisan bill, the quote, Count the Crimes to Cut Act, would require the Attorney General and other heads of agencies to produce a report to Congress totaling all federal crime statutes and federal regulations with criminal penalties. For each crime, the report would need to provide details, including the potential penalties for each offense and the number of prosecutions brought in the last 15 years for each offense.
Mm.
The last effort to count the number of federal crimes took place in. Anybody have a guess? Anybody have a guess? Anybody have a guess?
I would think like 50 years ago, maybe.
Not quite. 1982.
Ooh.
Before I
Yes.
was even born.
Yes. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
I was born, so thank you for that not being 50 years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
I was in fucking elementary school, bitches.
I was
Wasn't even born.
almost ready for preschool.
My mom was just about to go to high school.
Huh.
Whoa.
The last effort to count federal crimes took place in 1982, and the number of federal crimes is currently not known. The one-page bill said that over 80% of arrests nationwide, quote, are for low-level non-violent crimes, while less than 5% are, quote, violent offenses against property or persons.
Yeah.
The lawmakers said the bill would prevent unnecessary interactions with law enforcement officials and unnecessary incarceration.
And most of those arrests for like victimless crimes are in themselves violent fucking crimes, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. Representative Chip Roy, a Texas Republican who is teaming up with Democratic Representative Hakeem Jeffries of New York and David Throne of Maryland.
Maryland?
Yes.
Maryland and New York?
Maryland, New York, and Texas.
What was the name out of Maryland, Jason?
David Trone, Trone.
Yeah.
That's you know what's weird about that though is like that says a lot about just how like egregious this has gotten. The fact that people from Texas and Maryland are willing to team up with somebody from New York and go, so we're gonna go ahead and look at this and start making questions.
They told the Washington Examiner, quote, "Government exists to protect our liberty, not bury it alive under a pile of never-ending unnecessary criminal laws."
Yeah, well,
right.
What?
Well,
I mean, it shouldn't exist at all. It doesn't protect our liberties. It's a violation of liberty from the ground up. But I mean, I kind of respect the direction you're headed in with this.
Quote, federal politicians.
Like definitely an E for effort.
Yeah.
I'll give him a thumbs up. I'll give one thumb. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's like let's be real about this. Nancy Pelosi's not bringing it up. Right. And even if it does go anywhere, Biden's not going to sign it.
Nope.
President Harris isn't going to sign it.
Nope.
Quote, federal politicians and bureaucrats have created innumerable crimes, and the result is an overburdened law enforcement and distrust in our judicial system. Almost anyone over the age of 18 in this country could be indicted for some kind of federal infraction at any moment without even realize they're breaking the law.
3 a day, baby. 3 a day.
Felonies a day.
Yeah, it's time we finally count these crimes and get busy cutting a lot of them. I'm happy to introduce this bipartisan legislation along Representatives Jeffries and Trone. That was a quote from Roy.
Yeah.
In a statement, Jeffries said, quote, Count the Crimes to Cut Act will help reverse engineer the mass incarceration epidemic by identifying laws on the books that have been used and abused to lock many non-violent offenders in prison for unwarranted amounts of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's legit.
Yeah.
The bill's one page also cited John Baker, a retired law professor who told the Wall Street Journal in 2011, quote, there is no one in the United States over the age of 18 who cannot be indicted for some federal crime.
Yeah, and that's fucking true. I mean, it's like look at the federal prosecution even of those of us who used Napster back in the day, right? Like so many people got federally prosecuted and got sued and everything else over downloading fucking music. And do you think that the average 15-year-old fucking had any idea that was a felony?
Asked to give some examples of over-federalization of criminal law, a spokesman for Roy pointed to, quote, a crime a day Twitter account, which is a fantastic follow, which shares federal crimes. Recent examples of federal crimes include snorkeling within 300 yards of the Hoover Dam, boat racing in Yellowstone National Park, or killing a barn owl in Hawaii by shooting it, unless the bullets are non-toxic.
What the?
What?
Yeah, it's against the law in Hawaii to shoot a barn owl unless the bullets are non-toxic.
That's, well, I mean, and consider, we did episode 69, right, where we talked about all these absurd sex laws too, and went through all of those and how ridiculous those are, and we laughed even then about how, like, La Crosse is famous for its stupid law where I live, about it's a crime punishable by a significant fine if you worry a squirrel. It's just what? When things can be made felonies because that you could not possibly even imagine, like, being a thing like that.
So they're like certified squirrel worry or anxiety.
All right, here's one for
evaluators.
I have no idea. Apparently, it's entirely subjective. It's left to the courts to decide whether or not that squirrel appears worried when brought in. But I would think bringing it in would probably worry it as well.
Yeah.
Let's measure the concerned look on the face of the squirrel, and whether or not it appears.
And let's make it clear our position here at Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion. No fucking laws should exist, but let's start with the absolute fucking dead weight. Everybody can agree on.
Disagree with worrying squirrels.
Yeah, well,
like
freedom is letting other people do shit you disagree with.
Yeah, but you gotta respect the squirrels too.
Well, if you fuck with them enough, they will make you respect them. Any fucking wild animal will.
Fair enough.
16. I'm looking at the crime a day Twitter. 16 USC 3372A1 makes it a federal crime for a person to acquire a cougar without a cougar license.
But what do you mean by acquire? What if one just starts coming around and eating food that I leave
what
out?
If we can we define cougar? I mean, I know this is like episode 169.
18 USC 1760 makes it a federal crime to mail a zebra mussel.
It's a federal crime to mail a zebra mussel?
Hold on. 21 USC 610 makes it a federal crime for meat packers to give cow, sheep, goat, pig, horse, or donkey lungs to pharmaceutical companies unless they're labeled inedible species lungs for pharmaceutical use only.
What? Who's fucking trying to eat?
40 eating the lungs.
Not eat, pharmaceuticalize.
No, I know, but why was this necessary to fucking
21 USC 352F makes it a federal crime to distribute an app for preventing pregnancy without telling people the hardware and system requirements.
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, we've been doing it for a long time here.
But I mean, like,
None
that's
of this.
the app.
18 USC.
Oh, you mean for the app to run the app? Sorry, boomer.
18 USC 1865 make it a federal crime to make an unreasonable noise while a horse is passing by in a national park.
An unreasonable noise? I had Taco Bell for lunch. I'm sorry.
Tourette's.
No, that was unreasonable.
Who gets to decide what's a reasonable noise? Is that a job I can get?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like the only one. Yeah,
the squirrel evaluator.
The squirrel evaluator. The only one that makes even a lick of sense a little bit is the zebra mussel thing, and the reason for that, living on the Great Lakes the way that I do, the Great Lakes are being taken over by zebra mussels. They're an invasive species. They're incredibly dangerous.
Invasive.
They're destroying the ecosystem.
Biosecurity in general is kind of a thing.
And what's happening is that people, the reason they kind of have
you're
wound
talking about
up,
mussels like crustaceans,
river.
Like
yes,
Yeah.
they're like that,
like
that
shellfish.
big.
The shellfish.
They're an actual shellfish.
See, now I thought you were talking about like pieces of zebras.
No.
Because because zebras are actually a menace in southern Maryland.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Wild
allegedly.
zebras.
I don't think they're a
US,
menace at
zebra
all. I
mussels
think
are also
run
a menace
free,
in your
stripey boys.
backyard, Derricka.
18 USC 2332B makes it a federal crime to commit a deadly act of terrorism in the United States involving conduct that transcends national borders.
But what if it doesn't? Is that
You're
not
solid.
a
then.
federal crime anymore? So if
You're
I
good.
commit an act of terrorism but it doesn't cross national borders, then it's okay.
You stuck with
No,
like
I
Judge
promise
Judy.
you, they are labeling all kinds of shit terrorism.
Oh
these
yeah,
days.
I'm a fucking
Then
domestic
you're a
terrorist
domestic
like hell, according to
terrorist,
them.
and the
Fucking,
school board won't deal with you.
yeah, it's
Andrew recognized this one. 18 USC 1231 makes it a federal crime to give a person a ride to another state if they're going to be hired to forcefully interfere with peaceful picketing by employees during any labor controversy affecting wages, hours, or conditions of labor.
A-Trap brown shit. Fuck, I hate that shit so much. Because there are boys, right, boog boys, who have gotten charged under that because they gave rides to other boog boys to go to a protest. And they've used that against.
So just giving somebody a ride, even if you don't know what they're doing, makes you an accessory.
18 USC 1865 36 CFR make it a federal crime to bike faster than 15 miles per hour in Mammoth Cave National Park, unless posted otherwise.
I don't have a speedometer on my bike.
If you ride faster than 15 miles an hour in Mammoth Cave National Park, you are committing a felony. That is a federal crime.
A felony on a fucking bicycle. Like, oh man, I can't have any guns. I'm a felon. Oh, why?
Not just on a bicycle.
Because I was riding
my
really
bike at
fast.
16
Not just
miles
on a
an
bicycle.
hour.
Yeah.
On a bicycle in a national park.
I was in Mammoth Cave National Park, and I was just going and going and going, man.
A guy winked at me and challenged me to a race, and I hit 17 miles an hour.
Yep, and now I'm a felon.
Okay.
21. I was baited into it. I was entrapped.
Yeah, entrapment. 21 USC 331 make it a federal crime to sell milk buns made with cheese whey.
You know where all these laws come from, right? All these laws came from people who pissed off somebody in law enforcement or one of their fucking neighbors. They tried to prosecute them. They couldn't because there was a loophole. So they closed the loophole with these stupid fucking laws so they could nail these people. That's where all this shit comes from.
A lot of it is protectionism. That doesn't work. Let's make another law.
In Massachusetts, it is a state crime to sell or to steal a plastic or wire milk case or plastic or wire container for milk production or milk products, which has been stamped with the name of a milk dealer or association of milk dealers.
So
like
the
milk crate challenge, right?
Yeah.
The milk crate challenge.
Yeah. Not only is it illegal, it's a felony.
Felony, yeah. Dairy cases federally illegal to take if they're labeled as with a name, with a company name, and that like misuse punishable by law.
16
There's
US.
a law about that.
All right. Okay, I might end up breaking this one. 16 USC 1375 make it a federal crime to transport a walrus.
You got a walrus, bro?
I am the walrus.
I am. I was just gonna say that.
Donnie.
I beat you to it. I am the walrus.
Bro.
Well, who's
okay? All right, hold on.
And
okay,
you need help transporting it. I'm your man.
This is one where definitions matter. 16 USC 703 make it a federal crime to let someone else care for a raptor that you own or use for raptor breeding unless you give the raptor caretaker a letter authorizing them to care for your raptor beginning on the date of your letter.
Clever girls.
Birds of prey, Andrew.
It doesn't not specify.
Wait, what if it's a truck? What if it's a fucking Raptor?
What if? Yeah, it's a Ford. Yeah, I let somebody else drive my truck, and now they're a felon because I can give them a letter.
No, you're a felon.
There's a lot of
felons
about letting people use your vehicle. Definitely.
That is fucking ridiculous. I mean, first of all, how many falconers are out there that are like, hey, bro,
All right,
I'm going to go out of town for the weekend. Can you watch my falcon?
30 USC 820 make it a federal crime for a mine operator to let people get hoisted in a bucket that decelerates faster than 6 feet per second, or 16 feet per second if they're stopping the bucket in an emergency.
Safety.
Are you measuring that?
Yeah.
How do you say? Well, actually, yeah. With cranes and fucking shit, they know exactly how many feet per second they're going.
7 USC 7734 make it a federal crime to take decomposed manure from New York and bring it to another state.
What the fuck?
Well, I guess that means all the politicians in New York have to fucking stay there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so you're cool if you go into New York, just don't come out of New York.
So wouldn't that mean then that
broadcasting in New York?
Wouldn't that mean that broadcasting de Blasio talking is technically a felony?
Yes, it is.
Well, really, all of them. There's a lot of mouthpieces from New York. Giuliani and Trump is a New Yorker.
Yeah.
Okay, 21 USC 331 make it a federal crime to deliver Asiago cheese in interstate commerce unless it was cured in a well-ventilated room or has the same properties of Asiago cheese that was cured in a well-ventilated room.
What the?
Huh?
Again, this is corporate protectionism run rampant.
Word jumbles make everything safer.
Yeah.
And better.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Some
campaign donor wanted their competition fucking hamstrung.
Yeah, 16 USC 3372A1 make it a federal crime to acquire a Liger unless you have a Liger license.
There's a fucking Liger license?
A Liger? I didn't know there were Ligers. I thought that was like no shit.
No, they're real
shit. Okay, all right. This is the last one.
No, it's not just Napoleon Dynamite.
All right. This is the last one. I'm going to 21 USC 352F. Make it a federal crime to sell a hemorrhoid prevention pressure wedge without specific instructions on where to put it.
Wait, what kind of pressure wedge?
A hemorrhoid.
Make it a federal crime to sell a hemorrhoid prevention pressure wedge without specific instructions on where to put it.
Oh my god.
Unless you tell them to shove it up their ass.
Thanks, government. Thank you for my protection.
Thank you, federal government, for protecting me from hemorrhoid pillows.
Thank you for your service.
I had no idea where a hemorrhoid pillow was supposed to go.
I put it on top of my refrigerator. Thank you for saving me.
I had no idea.
That is up there with like external use only on the curling iron. I'm just.
I looked at it and I inflated it and I stared and I went, but how does
use
this
on the curling iron? Have you guys seen some of the curling ones these days? They look like fucking anal beads.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the Asiago cheese one. I mean, it's right up there.
Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
If you're brave, even if it's not. It's but like that's. The cheese one too makes me laugh because it's like, Wisconsin has so many cheese related laws and things, and where we can't sell yellow margarine, it's got to be white margarine because yellow margarine is illegal, and you can't produce cheese in this various manners, and there are state laws governing what you're allowed to call this cheese and that cheese and all this stuff.
Like the federal crime, like the law that makes it a federal crime to sell Limburger cheese unless it's at least 2 months old.
Yeah, like it's
gotta get a good stank on it.
It's there's lobbying right now to officially make Colby cheese the state cheese because it originated in Colby, Wisconsin. Like that's why it's called Colby and stuff. But like the fact
my
that
dogs love Colby Jack cheese.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's,
your dogs
it's,
do. They fucking love Cheese Whiz too.
But Colby is made, I mean, originates in Colby, Wisconsin. That's where it's originally from. And so they want to make this like the official home of Colby cheese. And if you call it Colby and it's not made within X amount of a distance of Colby, they want to make it a crime to call it Colby and sell it.
Oh my
Virginia
God.
ham, Tennessee whiskey, or
Tennessee.
Bourbon.
The whiskey laws are ridiculous. Like what you can call bourbon and what you can call whiskey and what
sort of shit.
It's this ridiculous stuff. And then like sometimes you can produce things that are technically rye whiskey but also bourbon, or like corn whiskey but also bourbon and stuff. And it's ridiculous.
And basically what all this means is that they think that you are so fucking inept and helpless as a consumer.
No, it's the same. It's just territorialism, you know.
Yeah, and protectionism.
There's no way that anybody else can do what we're doing simply by geography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a federal crime to shoot a rocket in a national cave.
I will go commit that crime tomorrow. I can commit that crime tomorrow. Yeah.
For people firing bottle rockets.
Cave sounds kind of.
The Ray Caverns are like 3 hours from me, and I've got a copy of Backyard Ballistics on my dining room table right now. Let's do it.
I'm not terribly far from Spirit Cave. I could totally go check out Spirit Cave, and that's a national cave, and go fire a rocket in there and be like, yeah, what now, bitches? What now?
I'm gonna shoot one out of my butt.
Bottle rocket, launch it jackass style, and
while doing goat yoga.
While doing goat yoga.
Collecting rainwater, drinking raw milk.
Smoking a joint on federal property, you know.
After transporting Asiago cheese across the state line that was not created in a well ventilated room.
Improperly ventilated
Colby
cheese,
that was produced in
Limburger that's only a month old.
Some baby Limburger.
Yeah, baby Limburger. That just
oh my god.
And yet they refuse to make Limburger cheese federally illegal. These people are not your friends.
Truth.
It is terribly pungent. I'm not entirely opposed to it, but it is terribly
it stinks almost as much as our podcast.
Almost, yeah.
On that note, let's throw out some links. And then let's get out of here.
Okay, I'm podcasting. Damn.
I was asking how is it going?
It's fine. Go. You're interrupting.
we can hear him.
The old Declavore.
The Declavore. All right. Throw out your links, dude.
Okay. Buy my book. Definitely. If you buy my book and you use it properly for yourself and for your children.
Is it a federal crime not to use it properly?
No. No, it's a federal crime essentially to use it at all, because it is a book that teaches you critical thinking. But it's a crime
against humanity to not.
Yes, it's a crime against humanity to not. It is the bare basics of critical thinking, deductive reasoning, Aristotelian logic for beginners, like for kids, like 9, 10, 11, 12. Or if you've never encountered any of those subjects, it's for you too. So my book, it's on Amazon. Jason has the link. It'll go in the description. Are you gonna link my blog?
If you send me the link, I will include it.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'm still fucking working on properly building it.
But you have the name so people can look for it. Drop the name so people can look for it.
Yeah, we'll drop the link for that. It's called theradicalunschooler.com. And I mean radical like we meant it in the 80s. You all know what I'm saying?
Radical, dude.
Radical, dude. And
that was better than the other names we picked.
Yeah. Nice, Andrew. Nice.
Yeah, I got that patch because it goes with my my ACOG 1984
Very
patch.
cool.
So I thought that they worked pretty well together.
Nice. So yeah, I'm gonna be on there blogging about what unschooling looks like for our family, and I hope it'll inspire people and empower you, make you feel like this isn't such a huge unreachable thing. You can facilitate your own child's self.
My God, save your children's minds. Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, so many people are so.
Derica has like 3 of the most well-behaved, well-mannered, well-spoken children that
she doesn't let us see them. They're in the closet, but they're there and they exist.
No, I've been there. I've witnessed. Like,
he's talked to my kids face to face.
They're cool as shit. All 3 of them.
He's high as fuck. We don't know. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Their own people, but stand on their own. But
they're decent conversationalists. Yeah,
they are. They can hold a conversation. They can articulate their wants and needs, and
that's the
be
thing,
respectful and helpful and everything. It's crazy.
So many people who do the homeschooling, they're really scared about because they don't know how to even start it. So getting to show them, here's how you begin. That's huge.
Right.
3 million kids started that process in the last year and a half.
Right.
And if they can do it, you can do it.
And as I build the page, I'm going to be populating it with links to my favorite resources and things like that. So there's going to be some helpful, I think some.
And that's important. Content. There's a lot of shit out there that's just terrible.
Oh my God.
And I am not free. So everything can be had for free.
Yeah.
You can pay for some things if you want, but.
Right. And you're not going to find Pinterest worthy, have to be super fucking perfect mom.
I'm about to turn this plane into a fucking mountain.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Other people's links. Go for it.
Yes. Radical Unschooler will be linked in the description below, along with her book and her crochet pattern.
Yeah.
Which are bomb. Seen those in person too.
Yeah.
All right. Check out thebeardstruggle.com if you want to care for your beard like a Viking. They have amazing scents. I highly recommend the gold scents, especially Odin's Virtue. It smells like apples and cinnamon this time of year. They're coming up on spooky season. That is an especially great scent. And honestly, when I'm using it, I just like smelling it. I don't even care if anybody else smells it, man. It smells amazing. And it's fantastic. They're always adding new scents, new products. They have a beard straightener that is super fantastic. And if you use code InkedAnarchist15 at checkout, you also get to save yourself 15% on all of those amazing products. And while you're at the website, you can check out all of the cool ads that all of us Beard Vikings do, including Hafthor Bjornsson is one of my fellow Beard Vikings. And he does some cool ads and stuff. It's all really awesome. Again, that's thebeardstruggle.com and code InkedAnarchist15.
On that note, anything else, Mark? You got anything you want to throw out there?
I ain't doing much right now but fishing and smoking dope, y'all. But there will be some shit coming.
On that note, Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969. Stay free, stripey boys. Zebra snitches get stitches. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.